Hi, Kanea. Welcome. How are you?
Doing great. How are you, MJ?
I'm good. How's the weather in Herndon?
About 50 degrees here and sunny, so a little better than it has been.
You're welcome. How are you? That's a feedback from YouTube. I'm gonna get rid of that. Awesome. Perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. Our webinar today is about should I get a certification or a master's degree? I think as a career coach, I get this question all the time. And my assumption is that those that have joined today or are watching this webinar at a later date are possibly thinking the same. Because both are investments, one a little bit more than the other, but it is important to sort of understand which one you should go for in terms of career alignment, salary, expectations, and hey, let's not forget market demand. Before we move on any further, I want to kind of talk about who I am. My name is MJ Bianchi. I've been a career coach now for about 5 years. Have been teaching and training in project management and IT for the past 9 years. But my career in project management as a career professional spans over 16 years. I do try to help career professionals easily and quickly gain technical knowledge, build confidence, and earn a six-figure salary in project management if that is what they're interested in. You can follow me on Instagram under I'm MJ Bianchi and 3T Career Institute. And I'm also on Facebook under 3T Career Institute and LinkedIn under MJ, actually both. For me, I haven't put my credentials on here, which I should have. I have my bachelor's degree in government and international relations, and then I jumped into getting my master's degree, which was an MBA actually in IT project management. And I remember going to my boss at that time and saying, "Hey, Bill, I've got my master's and I am so excited. Can you promote me?" And he goes, "Promote you? No, I can't promote you, but I think we can give you about a 2% raise." And I said to myself, I was like, oh my God, I've just spent about $50,000 on getting this MBA, and I'm not even getting a promotion. But what Bill did end up telling me, he said, "MJ, but if you get your PMP certification and this other certification, I can definitely promote you, and because that's what the client's looking for." And at that time, I hadn't even heard of those two certifications. One was the PMP certification, another was an Agile cert. And I was like, well, Bill, I guess I've got to go back and learn. So I re-enrolled in a boot camp and ended up getting my PMP, which is a story of its own. So essentially, the goal here will be to focus on for us to have a discussion. I want this to be a discussion where I can help answer some of your questions. So feel free to just ask whatever questions you might have. But one, really for you to decide which certifications and degrees align with where you want to be. Number one. And then, understand that educational route to take. Is it a technical route that you want to go? Is it more of, a non-technical, a subject matter, a manager, or would you rather be on the operational side of things? So there's a whole lot of different things as career professionals that we can decide on when we choose certifications and degrees for ourselves. So here's the first question, right? What are the specific benefits of obtaining a certification in comparison to pursuing a master's degree? Now, one of the first things is time, right? When we think about the amount of time it takes to pursue a master's degree, you're looking at a minimum 18 months to 2 years. And from a cost perspective, you want a master's degree, depending on where you go, will cost you somewhere between $15,000 to about $30,000, if not more. And at the end, what happens is a master's degree ends up being not as specific. So then when you go to apply for a job, you still have to figure out, well, which job aligns to my master's degree that you have obtained. But when it comes to certifications, let's take a look at, for example, a Security Plus certification or a Network Plus certification. Now, those align to a specific job, and you know that if you were to get your Network Plus, Security Plus, PMP, CSM certifications, you know that those certifications align to an IT role of some sort or system administration role. So I would love to hear from you. What are the current certifications that you have, and how has that benefited you? Does anyone want to share that with us here today?
I have a certified personal training license.
Wonderful. And how has that helped you in your career? And
It makes it much easier for me to apply to gyms, and it's a really great side hustle, actually. My initial degree is I have a bachelor's in biomedical sciences, and I'm also trying to pursue a career in that.
biomedical sciences, wow. And so when you think of your next certification, what comes to mind?
I actually have a meeting later today about getting a certification, and it is going to be about a biotechnologist specialist certification.
Wonderful. And so when you get that certification, do you know, will you then apply for a position within that field?
Yes, I'll be able to apply for a position in that field. I'll be able to work alongside a pathologist in a hospital.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So then when you were going through that thought process, did you also think about possibly getting, higher education like a master's?
I also have a meeting today regarding if I should get a master's in biotechnology or the certificate. So that's
Ah,
why I'm here also.
yeah, yeah. So, and that's where a lot of us are. And when you think about the salary that you want, how important is it for you right now to make a certain amount of money?
Yeah, it's pretty important. Money does play a role.
Yeah. And then in terms of uh the if you do have you done a comparison between the master certificate and the certification you're going for? Do you know which one is have you looked at jobs, and do you know which ones they call out for?
Mostly the jobs that I've been seeing, all of the jobs I've tried to apply for require that certificate,
The master certificate or the actual certification?
actual certification.
Got it. Got it. And so I think that's where you've got to look for that decision factor to say, okay, if a job is asking for a master's degree, or are they saying you have to have a certain certificate? And that's where you then decide in terms of priority to say, if I get my certificate, then I can go ahead and start the role. And then what you can do is once you start a full-time role, and if you want to pursue your master's degree, the company you work for now will pay for your master's degree. So you don't have to go into student debt. So that's sort of, when it comes to deciding certificate or master's degree, look at the kind of jobs you want to go for. Look at the positions that you're interested in. And you want to say to yourself, okay, is it calling out for a master's or is it calling out for a certificate? And from there, you make that decision. And ultimately, I have to say the trend right now is certifications, like actual specific certs, not master's degrees. So that's a trend that I have been seeing. James, is that you on the call? Maybe I can't hear you. Maybe it is. Okay, you come back on. All right, Kanea, what are your thoughts? Have you had that sort of moment in time in your career where you've had to sort of decide between a master's or a certificate, and what was your what factors did you consider?
Um, yeah, I have actually. So I have a bachelor's degree in East Asian Studies, but just through working at different companies and the roles at those companies, I said, oh, I think project management would be great. So I started off by getting my CAPM certification, just to see like, okay, is this truly the route that I want to go? But I was considering a master's degree at first in like maybe international studies or international education. Again, it was aligned with the job I was doing at the time. But just doing the CAPM got me hooked on
Yeah.
project management, and it really encompasses like project management is in every industry. So from there, I decided to get my PMP, which I hope was 3T last year. Um, and it really has been the best decision for me in my career rather than getting a master's degree, which, like you said, was a bit more broad. And I didn't even think I was sure at the time of what master's degree I wanted to get.
Yeah. Do you think, I mean, I know the PMP has benefited your career so much, and you and I have talked about this. W- Do you think there will be a point where you're going to go for a master's?
I haven't counted it out.
Mhm.
Um, I would just want to be very intentional about what I'm going for because, like you said, there is a huge time and financial commitment related to doing a master's degree. So I wouldn't rule it out, but I would say not right now.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. Peter and Kanea, such awesome feedback. I really appreciate it. I think more than anything else, it's going to help others to sort of hear the realities of career professionals deciding between, where they want to put their attention and energy. I always say we have a limited amount of energy and attention and time. So it's important that we remain strategic in our decisions, and we always factor in, if you are going to go for a certification or a degree, which one will serve you the most in the next 6 months to a year, and which one can you is also mostly cost effective. Because at the end of the day, what we know of master's degrees is that, like I indicated, a typical cost of a master's degree, you're looking at least 15, and I'm 15, I don't even think that's accurate. I would say it's more in the $30,000 to about 70 to 75. Again, depending on which programs you go for and which schools you are enrolled in. But you're, spending thousands of dollars. Versus when it comes to certifications, for example, a recent certification that I came across, which is a CISSP certification and a CISM certification, both of those, typically you're spending about $4,000, which I would say is at the higher end of a cost for a certification. And I know that those two certifications right now, if someone's looking for a job with the federal government, those certifications are what it's is in need right now. And the price that I just mentioned, that cost comes with the exam fee. Not only once, but you also a retake fee. So you're really, and then the result of someone who has gets that certification, and the salaries say that they're entry level, which I think one of the certifications you have to have some experience before you can even sit for the class, but you end up making at least $75,000 a year, right? So if you're entry level, you're looking at 55 to 75. If you're more of an expert, you're looking at making over 100K. So there are those benefits, and I would say the duration of preparing for those certifications are about 3 to 4 months versus 2 years or 2.5 years. So that's also something that you want to look at. James, I don't know if your audio is working now.
Yes, can you guys hear me? I hope so.
Hi, well, James Clipper is our expert today who is going to share his experience of certifications that he has obtained and how it has helped him in his career. So, James, go ahead, please.
I'd like to first start by saying thank you, Majua, for asking me to come and speak on this project management forum and with your company. The experience that I have ascertained from going through Majuba's certification courses has been immense within my career. When I first started out with Majuba's course, I was working for a different for government agency as a contractor, of course, and that route that contracting group put me on with Majuba has really just it's put my career at a vertiginous point. Okay, without further ado, I get into the degree versus certification. Um, and mine is going to be more tailored towards government and government contracting because those are the fields that I'm in. You may be accustomed to labor categories. That is kind of a broad term that's used in private government and in in consulting work. And so what I'm noticing is that there's a trend that you will need both due to my nucleus of where I'm working at, which is in the Washington metropolitan or national capital region. We're at a place where a lot of folk have PhDs and certifications. And so figuring out that place where you can nestle in into work, get a reasonable salary where you're not feeling as though you're being belittled in terms of income while still being a fruitful member of your team body. Currently, I'll divulge some things about myself. I'm signing up for the CISSP course with Majuba while also going after my master's degree as well, due to my work nucleus. And it goes back to your business environment piece within project management, even though I'm kind of stretching it from the PMP, but within my business environment, the personnel that I am, I don't want to say competing against, but the ones that is in my resource pool or in my labor category, they have masters. So that automatically places you down. I have a bachelor's degree in business administration. So it does give me a foot at the table. But if I want to get up into the higher salary ranges, you will need both of them, the certification and the degree. And that's based upon my experiences of how things are going in the national capital region. You will have to tailor that to your audience that you're working with and do some market research in order to figure out, hey, what is the market going to be like in my area? What is the market like in my germane working experience or germane field? And then tailor your approach to how you're going to proceed forward. That's the best piece of advice that I can give to the group. And it's actually what I'm running with now. So please come join me in the March 5th CISSP course because I'll be there. Yeah.
Thank you, James, for sharing that. And that is a really important perspective, that what James is saying, he's sharing his insight from the industry that he is in, which is government contracting. And James, when you and I had a conversation, you mentioned, and I loved your perspective, masters and certifications are needed. And I think they're tied back to years of experience. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So within your labor categories, you have years of experience from 0 to I think it's 3, 3 to 5, and 5 to 7 or 8. And then you'll have SME level, which is 15 years. You've been doing this since high school, or you're retired out and you're still just doing the same thing as a contractor. You're able to bridge the gap with your master's and achieve certain years of experience on the job with your master's degree, not really having that experience, that tangible experience sitting at the desk doing it from day to day. Your certification places you in a position where it states that you understand the information that is specific for this job. You know how to do these job functions. So that certification gives you your passport. That's my own analogy for it. It gives you your passport card that says, well, although I have a master's for myself, I'm obtaining a master's that's in business administration. I also have my PMP, which states that, hey, I know how to run projects. I know what my business vision and mission is, and I know how to apply that in my project methodology to be in adherence with my business co-parts. Again, with the CISSP, that gives you your passport card as well. In order to get into certain domains, because that's mainly what the CISSP is on, and it, well, at least touches into, which is the domain, and that's your security domain, stating that, hey, I have the experience, or I at least have the certification that allows me to sit at this desk in this position, and it gives me the baseline understanding of information systems, um, and how you're going to apply that knowledge to your day-to-day job. I also, through Majuba, went through a scheduling course, and this is some exterior information to this. I went through a Microsoft project course, and now I've been building schedules. I'm sorry, we're going mute for a second.
Yeah, I love that perspective from James because, again, you have to look at your industry and your environment. And things sometimes experience can replace certifications and it can replace degrees. But even when you do have experience, I have to say, when it comes to the candidate pool and they're looking at resumes and they're comparing, they're going to pick someone who has the experience and a certification. Or they'll pick someone that has the experience, the certification, and possibly a master's degree. So it's all about saying to yourself as a career professional, how am I making sure that you are on the top of the pool in terms of candidates? And yeah, James, please continue.
Oh, okay. So just quick pivoting into the scheduling piece. I'm actually exercising this now at my current job. So do a scheduling course with Majuba, MS Project Chief certification. So I'm in a role, and I knew scheduling, which is one of the critical pieces of the planning function within the PMP, is make sure that you're having a clear cognizant
James, you're
schedule that
breaking
is
up a little bit. You're breaking up a little
Oh,
bit.
okay. Let me come back over here. I'm over here in Alexandria, so sometimes my signal goes in and out.
Yeah, you're
But
good now. Yep.
oh, okay. Thank you. So, within project scheduling, which is in the planning piece for a project, it's very critical that you understand scheduling. And so I'm having to do demos and exercises with my current consultant group with in regards to Microsoft project. And these are career folk whom have 20 plus years of experience, and now they're going through my training course
Oh my
within
God.
within Microsoft project, best project. And I mean, it really gives you that I want to say a little star beside your name that shows like, hey, I know I know the tools that are needed for my job. And that goes back to your degree and your certification. I do urge within my opinion that you do achieve both eventually. You may not do it both simultaneously. If you're needing to make income now, do the certification now, and then do your degree on the back end. Inevitably, you will need both eventually, due to, well, for my environment, I will need both. Although I'm doing my certification now because I'm working, I'm in the position, I'm in the seat. So I'm doing my certification now, and then on the back end doing my degree, the master's. It all, it's all tailored to your working environment. If you're in a place within wherever you're located, and I don't want to say political, the educational temperament is more higher than the certifications, then you're going to have to adjust yourself to your environment. Although the certifications say it specifically, I know how to do this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a really good point. I can't say that I regret my master's degree, but I have to say that my PMP certification got me a $30,000 raise, while my master's degree got me a 2% raise, which equated to maybe about $5,000 or $6,000. So to me, that's where I said, okay, the market's shifting. Where there was a time where master's degrees were the thing to get. Now, James, from your perspective, right? You currently have your bachelor's, right?
Yes, I have a bachelor's in business administration.
Okay, can you talk about once you got your PMP? What did that look like for you in terms of your salary and opportunities?
Okay. So when I first was working as a project scheduler, I was making $95,000 a year, and I did not have the PMP certification. And you do know depending on your market, you're gonna have to know how to market your skills and abilities, because that can clearly be your demarcation line for how high your salary can go. I'm sorry, I'm standing outside. These planes are going past.
But we can't hear it.
But
Yeah, you're good.
after achieving the PMP certification and doing some market evaluations, I was able to do a what is it? I did two incremental jumps. I went from 95,000 to 120,000, and then I went up to 170,000 at the next contracting gig. But it was
Wow.
how I was able to market my abilities and understand the position that you're in and that you're achieving, while knowing what the laborer really does cost in your region. Okay, I got
Yeah.
going back on.
Uh-oh. I think we may have lost him.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry. These jets are going over the top of this
We can't,
building.
yeah, we can't hear it, so you're good.
Oh, okay. Okay, yep. So that was how I was able to get up closer to the double six figures mark. And then of course, after you get yourself grounded into your certification, grounded into what level of um applied methodology in the PMP that you're going to go after, you're going to then tailor your resume to ensure that you are demonstrating those abilities on your resume, so that when someone picks up your resume, they don't have to question whether or not your certification is real, or if
Yeah.
you actually have sat in that position and done the work.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Uh, make your resume so that it looks like your certifications are real and you've done the work. Wow. Yep, absolutely. And those, your salary figures, wow. I love that. I love that. And I think part of also what I'm hearing you say, James, is believe in yourself, pick an industry, grow in that industry, get all of the skills that are required within that industry, become the best that you can be, and learn how to sell yourself.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. I'd love to take questions from our audience. Peter, Kanea, any thoughts or questions from your end for James?
Well, I actually had to go back into work now.
Well, you go make that money, James. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining. I'm so proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
All right. Talk soon.
Okay, talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Well, you all heard it from our expert who was able to grow his career without a master's degree and did it through certifications. Yet when he also said, hey, get your certifications, but you don't necessarily have to lose sight of, never getting a master's. A master's could possibly be something that can come in the future, but a certification is a short-term win for what we're looking at in the market right now. So, Peter or Kanea, any thoughts that I can, or questions that I can take? All right, if no questions, I just want to say thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for participating, sharing your insight, and allowing us to bring information to the larger audience. Have an amazing Friday and a weekend. And one thing I did want to say is if anyone is interested in our classes, we do have a project management class that's coming up that's going to teach you how to manage a project from start to finish. And we're also enrolling for our February PMP class. If you need one of those amazing resumes that James was talking about, where it doesn't look like you're lying on about your certification, then I can definitely help you build a resume, cover letter, and help coach you so that you are putting yourself out there the right way. We have payment plans and Afterpay available if that's something you are interested in. So let us know. Our next webinar is going to be about how to update your resume now to get a new project management job in 2024. And I just want to say project management is in every industry, science, engineering, marketing, you name it, project management exists and is a very lucrative career to have. And that's going to come up in February 15th at noon. Hope to see you all there. If you're interested in any of our classes, you can go ahead and text me at 571-520-2587, and I will be more than happy to answer any of your questions or help with enrollment.